We're joined by Professor Alberto Spektorovsky. I'm sorry about that. Got hung up on your name there. Alberto Spektorovsky, Professor of Political Science from Tel Aviv University. Apologize for that. Not trying to start this session on any comedic level, but this is serious what we see going on in Peru, of course. The level of violence, I mean, it appears to have shocked the country. There's accusations of genocide. I mean, how serious are the allegations against this president?
Yes, absolutely. I don't know if the word genocide would fit, but it is massive killing, no question about that. This is and it has world repercussions. It is insane what is going on now in Peru. It is the political situation that is coming from long time ago and exploded recently after President Castillo was ousted and was declared a state of emergency by the vice president, the new president, Dina Boluarte, and the state of emergency has gone wild.
Wow.
Practically more than 26 or more people have been killed, and especially in area of Puno, in the south of the country, which probably have more than 17 casualties, which basically are the areas that were very supportive of President Castillo. So the situation is getting out of control, that's for sure.
You know, I mean, it feels and it sounds like, as you're describing it, a real national crisis. I mean, shaking the core of the state right now. How big is the divide, really, between the supporters of each president? Is it like a 50-50 split? I mean, where does the support go?
Yeah. Well, it is a classical divide in Peru between let's say, the political class or the elites coming from the city, from Lima, and the rural areas in which were the president's supporters. Let's put things clear. The system, the political system in Peru, it's quite conflicted in terms that you can run for president and you can get into the second, let's say, the kind of, it's very similar to France, a kind of ballotage, okay, the second round, by very few votes. Let's put it this way. President Castillo, the first President Castillo, entered into the second round out with 19% of the votes. And it was not a massive support. Wow. But still he got into the second round and he overcame the contender, which was the daughter of ex-President Fujimori. Okay, that was fine up to that moment. President Castillo represented really the rural areas. He was basically supported by people in Ayacucho, Purimac, Huancavelica, very poor rural areas. Yeah. Now, that divide is tremendous in Peru. The Lima political class, the Lima economical class doesn't like to be led by a president coming from those areas. So the situation has become tragic. Wow. And the supporters of President Castillo, which, let's put it quite clear, he was not very competent, to be sincere. His cabinet renounced and come up for several times. He didn't get a great function, a great role functioning as a president. But at the same time, what political observers claim, and that's true, that besides claiming against his actions, besides that, there is a great deal of racism against him. So
this is where the genocide claims started coming in there. Okay, so we're looking at sort of racial divide in this issue.
Yeah. It's totally Peru is a racial divide, and as I said before, a very intellectual, high level. It's not just question of wealth. It's a kind of feeling yourself elite, and the rest of the people that are in the rural areas that it's tremendous. Like if you put in terms of United States is kind of New York against the Midwest, but
not pretty.
Just multiply that for 100.
Look, in the context of what we're seeing elsewhere in the continent, I mean, from Bolivia, we were just talking about Brazil, obviously taking the headlines. I know these are different stories and sagas playing out, but in some way, are they fueled by each other? But is unrest in one place fueled by that in another on the continent? Is there any connection?
Well, in regards to Bolivia, probably yes. The question is in Brazil is another story, but the classic divide between rural areas and the center, the political center, let's say, in Bolivia and Peru are, I wouldn't say the same, but quite similar in certain areas, in certain aspects. And also in Bolivia, President, was an indigenous person, and that was hated by the elites. So there is some similarities for sure.
A lot of issues playing out. Thanks for helping us decipher them, Professor Alberto Spektorowski. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you very much. Good day.